Hello YouTube, it's Atticus. How's everybody doing? I hope you're well, and I am back with you with a bonus video. This is not game 2 of the MGL. This is just a bonus one that I played earlier, and it was such a cool game. And I'm actually I've never seen Vampire Coast match Wood Elves when it comes to range firepower. And I don't want to spoil anything, so yeah, just watch. I'm going to label this game like something that has to do with like the ranged battle from hell or something like that, because yeah, this game was really not what I expected. It's really cool. So it's going to be a bonus video for today, and I still will upload the game 2 of MGL Amber. So, yeah, let's get into my build, guys. So my front line, I am taking 4 zombie pirate deckhand mobs. Of course, these guys are just to hold things in place, just buy time for my more powerful units to shoot them. I have a secondary line of animated hulks, and I actually think these guys are really good. They're very cheap, they're reliable, and they do good damage. And they also keep things like tree men or stuff like that from pushing through your lines. Also, guys, we have a crab, a rotting Promethean, and I knew this was a little bit of a risky pick in this matchup just because there's things like Way Watchers and stuff. You know, he could easily get sniped. But, you know, if he wants to waste a lot of his ammunition taking the crab down, that's good. That means it allows my other units to stay alive. So I kind of look at it in a sense of it's either going to be a bullet sponge or it'll do a lot of damage. So it's kind of a win-win. Ideally, I'd like to keep it alive, don't get me wrong. But for my Lord choice, I brought a Deep Fleet Admiral. That's my favorite one. And I just brought the thing that gives you accuracy. I forget what it's called. And you're going to see I'm going to use this a lot throughout the game. Rotting Prometheans. And yeah, Spiteful Shot. So I'm going to be using this on actual, like, the gunnery mobs. I'm going to be using it on my deck droppers. And it really does add up. So that, my Fleet Admiral is on a crab too. Also, guys, we do have 2 units of the zombie pirate deckhand mobs. So actually I got 3 units. There's one right there, there's one right there, and there's one right there. And then I also have the black spot, which is the anti-large armor piercing handguns. And these guys are a good counter to the Wild Riders, I find. I like to put them next to my artillery, so you know, if they could both you know, protect the artillery piece and shoot anything on the approach. And yeah, I mean, Wild Riders don't have a lot of armor, so if you send these guys into melee, they're going to do okay with their anti-large. As for artillery, we're just going to mortar, guys. We're just going cheap, but this mortar is really going to pay. I mean, it's guaranteed damage to anything like Way Watchers and things like that. So, and just, you know, pull arms to protect it. We also have the Regiment of Renown Morghuls. Where are they at? That are going to be my defense against Wild Riders, which will inevitably come in this matchup. And you can see the Night Terrors right here. And these guys are an actually good counter. If you guys are looking for a counter to cavalry and other forces, especially like Wood Elves, Wild Riders, Morghuls are good. I mean, they are the answer for you. We also have 2 units of deck droppers, and these are not the armor piercing ones, just the regular fire while moving ones. And yeah, they're my favorite ones just because they fire while moving. And against the Wood Elves, who generally don't have a lot of armor, they're going to be more than sufficient. And also we have Lamprey's Revenge, guys. So the idea behind these, you can see I have them on this right side. I'm going to try to go around his army and get into the whatever back line that he does have. So yeah, that's my force. We're going really heavy on the numbers and a lot of guns, but not the kind of guns you would think. We're going just the normal, you know, gunnery mobs. These are not the armor piercing ones, but you know, against the Wood Elves, guys, it can work for you. So as for my opponent here, the dreaded 3-Way Watcher Vanguard build, and yeah, this sucks. It's always annoying to fight against, but you know what I mean, like, at least it's in mortar range, so I am going to be able to return some damage. But look, he even has a secondary line of Glade Guards, so that's a lot of range. I mean, that's 6 ranged units that are generally, and that's generally how you beat Vampire Coast, so yeah, it's really dangerous. 5 units of Eternal Guards. We have some War Dancers, Asari Spears here in the back, and for his Lord choice, he has a Glady. So, and I forgot the Wild Riders of Cornus right here too. Wild Hunters of Cornus. So let's go ahead and start the match, guys. See how it goes. So right off the bat, as Pee Wee Herman once said, you can see that these Way Watchers are going to open up right onto this rotting Leviathan. And look at that damage. That is so unfortunate. But, you know, look, my mortars are returning in kind, so I'm immediately going to send my forces up. There's no sense of staying here being bullet sponges. Sooner I can do some damage, the better. But look how quickly those Way Watchers are just making short work of this rotting Leviathan. Those things are just so powerful. I am going to start trying to, you know, dance him from left to right here to avoid some shots, and it's going to buy me a few volleys, you know what I mean? Like, he's not fast like a Pegasus or something, but it is causing some of them to miss. You can see just kind of going left to right. When his army groups up like this, it's allowing the mortars to do a little bit of damage, and now the front lines are going to collide. You can see that my opponent is going to cast the Prey of Amathrama just to hold up those animated hawks, but yeah, it's okay. Over here, you can see that my opponent did have his, let's go ahead and slow it down here. He did have his Wild Riders. He tried to get into my my mortar, but I was able to stop him with the Night Terrors, but he does run around him. He is trying to get into the back line of my units, guys, and here in the main engagement, you can see we just have a huge glob of just, infantry fighting, but he has so much range pressure coming, and you can see, like, it's my Rotting Leviathan has taken the majority of those shots, which is going to allow my things to start shooting here. You can see I have the deck droppers providing a lot of damage, as well, a lot of Overwatch, and over here, guys, you can see Lamprey's Revenge is coming around that flanking mission, like I said. I'm going to get a Promethean, a Rotting Promethean summon, which is instantly going to go into the back line. And yeah, we're just going to try to shut down those Way Watchers, guys. And that's usually how you want to play the Fleet Admiral, is, summon things behind their main infantry line. You can see it's doing really good. It's shutting 2 units down. Over here, Lamprey's Revenge is shutting these Way Watchers. So now I have, 2,000 something gold of my opponent that's not firing. All meanwhile, guys, you can see that I have my zombie pirates gunnery mobs here, the black spot, all just firing in, just providing me a lot of ranged Overwatch. And you can see the Night Terrors are doing really good against these wild hunters of Cornus. I mean, that's what they excel at. They're really good. And if I do get them in the back line, they're going to do just as good as well. I was really impressed just watching how much damage that these zombie pirates are doing. I mean, it says obstructed, but they're still firing. As soon as one of these, wood elves show their faces, they're just going to get shot. And you can see that I'm going to get another crab summon, guys. So, yeah, I mean, I'm totally just bypassing his back line. And you can see that the mortars are just raining in as well. And look, we just collapsed so much of his Way Watchers. Over here you can see that Lamprey's Revenge, though, even with all their healing, guys, they're just getting melted so quick, and that's a really big loss. Over here you can see that I got some zombie pirates holding up these Eternal Guard, and really what it is, guys, it's just, we're just trading shots, you know what I mean? You can see that I have my deck droppers up here just providing Overwatch as well, but yeah, I'm just trying to shut down, keep him from firing. I'm trying to shut down his expensive units, let my mortar rain in, and yeah, we're actually doing really good here in the main infantry fight, guys. I mean, that's what the Vampire Coast is meant to do. Hold while your other units, just shoot them in the face. Over here you can see the deck droppers are having a duel with these Way Watchers, and yeah, we'll go ahead and watch a quick volley, see how it does. You can see a couple shots, tickles them a little bit, it looks like, but I am going to get Spiteful Shot, guys. So I'm using that 90% accuracy on my deck droppers, which makes these guys actually shoot like snipers. Like, they actually do a lot more damage when they're actually hitting things. You can see my opponent does get the Prey of Anaphorama, you know what I'm trying to say, the net on my Night Terrors, and yeah, these guys are in really bad shape now. They're fighting Asari Spears, and they're not going to be alive much longer, but Balance of Power, surprisingly, is in my favor, guys, and you can see that I have my Vampire Fleet Admiral right here, just shooting into these Asari Spears who have bypassed my line. But yeah, everywhere you look, guys, you can see my zombie pirates are just shooting in. I mean, it's just so much Overwatch. You can see that he's having to waste his expensive Way Watchers shooting my 500 gold deck droppers, which is really good for me. All meanwhile, my mortars are just firing in as well. Here in his back line, you can see a lot of his ammunition is low, guys. So, I mean, once he loses that, these guys are just going to be like wet noodles. They're not going to do a lot of damage, and you can see, yeah, we're actually beaten. I mean, like I said, Balance of Power is really strongly in my favor. Over here you can see that my Vampire Fleet Lord is going to use All Hands Ahoy, just trying to buff up that front line. And here you can see another charge of these Asari War Dancers just getting shot in the face by these zombie pirates. And these guys don't have any armor, so they just do so much damage. I mean, look, here's another Last Samurai battle charge just shooting into these guys, and they're just getting wiped out before they even have a chance to approach. You can see, guys, my opponent has not been able to get into my mortar, and it has really been life-saving this game. It really has been adding up and just landing death on my opponent. You can see that my Vampire Fleet Admiral is a little bit exposed, and I am going to have to pull him back. But yeah, here's another example, guys. We have another expensive unit of War Dancers just coming up on approach and just getting butchered by all these, these rifles being shot at them. So yeah, this is really paying off for me. You can see that my opponent does have this unit of Way Watchers here, but I mean that is such a horrible feeling when you have to use Way Watchers to kill zombies. You know what I mean? It's such a waste of all that gold that you brought, and I'm really just winning through sheer attrition. Like, my numbers and the fact that I don't have a lot of expensive things, it's kind of neutralizing all that range things that he has. Because, I'm like 300 gold to bring my range units, whereas he has to pay almost 800 to 1,000. You can see I do bring back my Vampire Fleet Admiral, who is in good health. And yeah, it looks like the zombie pirates here are going to start shooting in the face of this Glade Lord, who is going to use his last... who is going to use the last net there, which, it's an interesting choice. I mean, it's not like those guys are going to go anywhere. You see, I am going to try to reinforce this Fleet Admiral. And yeah, I mean, so now the secondary lines have been collided. You can see that my main line has broken, but yeah, his units are so shattered, it's really not going to matter. And you can see almost all the ammunition of his archers are done. And you can see another really good mortar shot there, and Balance of power is even more just creeping in my favor, guys. And you can see now the Glady is fighting amongst these zombie pirate deck droppers, or excuse me, I can't talk, pirates. And yeah, you even got the Vampire Fleet Admiral doing her all hands ahoy again. And it's just giving that leadership and the defense and everything. And yeah, I mean the leadership is just breaking, and it's just so fun. Like just really watching like all this range units just slowly and surely just melting down all these Wood Elves. It's such a good counter. You never would expect these zombie pirates or just little pistols to be doing so good. I mean it's just the Wood Elves don't really have an answer. I don't think they're meant to kill that many shaft units that can shoot back at them. They're more like elite killers. Over here you can see that he does have these Glade Guards with still 63 units, but yeah, I mean the Black Spot does have armor piercing. They'll be able to return some of the damage. And over here, guys, you can see that the Fleet Admiral is doing the Glady, and yeah, I'm gonna win that engagement. Obviously, being on the Crab, the Glady does have horrible armor piercing. Over here, guys, you can see we have broken his second, the force that he sent into my secondary line, which is going to open me up to start shooting him again. And we're still doing really good on ammunition. I mean, look, guys, we still got almost full ammunition, and they just keep shooting. They just keep shooting, and every shot is just killing these, low armored Wood Elves. Over here, you can see that he has used all his ammunition in this little group, and yeah, they're just getting last samurai'd. I mean, this is textbook definition of being destroyed through sheer attrition. Over here, you can see that the Glady is going to pull away, but yeah, I mean, my Fleet Admiral has a pistol. It's just shooting into the back. He is trying to shoot down the mortar, but at this point, I've already used all the ammunition, so it's probably not the best, idea. I don't think it's really going to make that much of a difference. You can see my opponent is going to send the last charge of his units, trying to do a last stand, but yeah, I mean, he's just so beat up. They've taken like 1,000 different bullet holes in him, and you can see even these Eternal Guards here are just getting shot right in the face. They're going to break. The Glady's going to break, getting chased by the Crab. And yeah, it's going to be army losses really soon for my opponent. You can see I'm going to get one more mortar shot off on... there it is, landed right there, and it's going to be army losses. So that was such a cool game. That was not what I expected. I remember telling the opponent, like, wow, I didn't really think I was going to win that. But yeah, that just goes to show you guys, like, don't be afraid to match the Wood Elves in the range game. This proves to you, I mean, it works, So let's go and look at the in-screen breakdown and talk about some of the keys for my success. And yeah, numbers. These zombie pirate gunnery mobs just having that just sheer massive firepower. They just kept shooting and shooting and shooting, and the Wood Elves just couldn't really, like I said, Wood Elves are meant to like snipe really powerful units like Death Guard, the Crabs, Lords. But when you have this really weak, massive amounts of just cheap units shooting back at them, it kind of neutralizes what they're good at, and yeah, then it makes it not very cost effective. So if you have a Way Watcher shooting into 1,100 Way Watcher shooting into a 400 zombie pirate, gunnery mob, that's a waste. And then, obviously another big, huge key to success, guys, was doing the crab summons in the back and having the Lamprey's Revenge. Like, that's how you want it. Like, if you're fighting an army that's going to have a lot of range pressure in the back, bring a caster, a summoner, something that could, cast zombies or crabs or something behind the main battle line. And then I was able to shut them down, and that bought me time. But yeah, guys, the mortar, this was the MVP mortar with 2 chevrons. So yeah, this one is the true hero of the Vampire Coast. We'll call it the Mortar of the Sloth. And yeah, 144 kills. That's awesome, especially just on a mortar. I mean, the whole game was been able to fire. And also, guys, the deck droppers. I mean, these guys were able to screen out the the Wild Riders. They were able to trade with Way Watchers, and like I said, if they want to waste ammunition on these guys, it's a win-win. So yeah, and I really think the Black Spot, obviously, it's always a good pick. 146 kills. I mean, they're able to protect themselves. And, yeah, the build just went really good, guys. So that was such a cool one. I hope that kind of changes how you play the Vampire Coast against the Wood Elves. That, maybe you, instead of, trying the meta build, maybe you'll try something like this. So, all right, guys, it's Atticus, and I will see you a little bit later for the Game 2 of MGL. So, all right, guys, bye.